welcome here. This is Bhakti, your host for today. Welcome to Stars and Celeb Baaton Baaton Mein. So, how are you today?
I'm all fine. Things are going fine, and it's a holiday, but still a working day for me because I have chosen it to be a working day. So not that I was burdened upon, but I was chosen to be. I just chose it to be a working to make it a working day for me. How
That's
about you?
I'm good. I'm really good. It's a pleasure talking to you and honestly spending my day like that. So it's kind of good, not bad. Okay. So perfect. If you're okay with it, let's get started.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
so can you just tell us more about yourself that no one has known about yet, but something because we all know you, but we want to know something that is other than that.
Well, I think there's always a personality behind the personality. I always believe in that, and it's not just in me, but it's there in all human beings. It's just that sometimes it chooses to come out with it, sometimes it does not. Now, going from that perspective, I would say, I'm not a jack of all trades, but yeah, I'm not talking about the master here. But as far as jack of all trades goes, well, I've put my hand into more or less many things to do with my career and work, but at the end of the day, uh, uh, it's there's something which people don't know about. Definitely, is the fact that I'm planning to scale till. um that's like the first time ever that I'll be trying to do that. But because, of course, after receiving some training in this purpose, to do with scaling a part of Mount Everest in 2 to 3 months' time. So, not the tip, of course, because I can't go to the top right now because of many factors, of course. But yeah, that's something which I'm looking forward to. Apart from my work mode, that's something which is something which I'll definitely try to do within the next 2 3 months.
Oh, that's amazing. Literally, like, not even expected that. It's really amazing. And you want to know about it, obviously. So I'll stay in touch with you. I just wanted to understand, like, how did you choose a career in journalism? How did you know that, that was the thing for me? I wanted to do that.
Well, see, journalism came to me in a way. I would say my father has been a journalist too. One of the big faces that India has known in the past. But for me, I would not say it has kind of gone, I mean, from father to son from this perspective, but it's something which I liked. And I thought, well, let me try my hand in journalism because that's something which I would do that. And accordingly, I did my studies, and accordingly, I went ahead in my career also to choose journalism as a career and then move ahead. Of course, a lot was in store. A lot of excitement was in store. Definitely, I think I chose the right one.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, do what you love, right? Uh, Also, I know that you have been to Pakistan, so your experience there, like we all know the differences between India and Pakistan. So, how was your experience there? Was there some time that you felt that the differences are correct, or if they are not correct, or how was that? How was your experience?
Well, Pakistan, I've been twice. One, of course, formally, when that was long back when during the prime ministership of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, late Prime Minister of India, and that was, of course, an official visit. But other one was definitely behind the curtains. It hasn't yet come out in the open from that perspective. It will be coming out, though 20 years have gone by. But something is going to come out very soon, and that's another. You can say another media operation, quote unquote, from a different perspective. But it was never. It's not in the books, so I mean it's nowhere written from that perspective. But yeah, of course, I mean that's something which I always wanted the world to know, and thankfully that's going to come out soon.
Oh, we are really great that you're sharing this with us. We are the people who know about this thing, and when it comes out, we'll definitely be like, yeah, we know about it. So yeah, thank you for that. Um, Also, you played like a significant role in the government witness for the Red Fort event, which like happened 20 years ago, which was a long time. Can you tell us more about what happened, or what was your what was your opinion on it? What was it?
Not an opinion, more to do with a factual happening where I became the main government witness in the attack on Red Fort by the Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorist group. And actually, I got to know about this operation that they were trying to carry out um, as they were about to start off. So it was like maybe I came to know about that about 15-20 minutes before they scaled the Red Fort, and they tried to attack Indian Army personnel posted over there. And well, it has been a great experience to do with as a journalist, but I would say from a citizen perspective, I have done my responsibility to the extent that I had, of course, informed the police station immediately. And but still, by the time police rushed to the site and the army was already there, but they had already, killed people around there inside the fort, and we reached as well there. And of course, next day morning, police came to me and said, "Well, you were part of the. We have traced your call that you got a call from so and so, and you have to be a government witness." I said, "Absolutely fine. That's something which I owe to my country, and this is something which I should do for my country." So, from that perspective, I was called to the court as a witness, and that was the second time I saw that terrorist uh, right in front of me inside the court. And of course, post that, police wanted me to give some security cover, but I said, please don't, because it's better not to have a security cover. Well, because I've witnessed quite a bit of terrorism prior to that, and going by what they do, the more security I get, it'll be easier for them to kill me. It's better that I go without security, just like a ordinary person on the street walking with a bag in hand, and you would just go over there, and that's lesser chance of being attacked from that perspective. So, well, it's a story is there, of course, behind it, and you know, time will come when people in the country are going to know about this.
But I weren't scared, like, you got a call, but you did the right thing. A lot of people panic and like back out. How did you not back out? I mean, listening to this, I would have like been half an hour sitting there and wondering, should I go to the police, or should I do this, or should I rush to the fort and like yell and everything? I mean, you have a very clear perspective of what you did. So it was amazing.
I think there are two reasons why. First is, as a journalist, of course, when you get a information, uh, it's your duty to kind of try and find out whether how much of that is true or not, and then rush to the site and see for yourself. So reporting is definitely one part of it. And the second thing is, I thought I informed the police immediately because I thought I owe this to my country, and that's something because it's not, it's a full fledged, attack on one of our big institutions, and that's something which, as a citizen of this country, I would. It's my duty to inform the police immediately about it. And so I think these two reasons are I would cite why I decided to go ahead with it rather than backing out of it.
Yeah, no, no, it's really amazing, like you did. And I mean, talking to you about this is kind of a huge thing, because even I wasn't aware about a lot of incident that happened at the Red Fort. Like I was aware, but I'm very young. So, knowing about this stuff is very inspiring. And, we understand like what happened in the past and getting to know. So it's kind of a great thing. Thank you for letting me know. And I really appreciate myself personally. Thank you as a citizen to a citizen, but thank you. You really were grateful. Uh, okay, apart from this, in the past 20 years, are there any exciting more stories that happened with you, which you'd like to share, like which are not in the news, which are not in the no one knows, like that's something that you are doing personally, something that
Uh,
happened.
One thing which I would definitely like to share, because now slowly it's going to become public very soon, through, of course, a film. But that's my undercover media operation in Pakistan occupied Kashmir. And that's something which people don't know anything about, because it was, of course, the reporting did not happen because of certain circumstances, and I had to literally uh, run for my life. And as I'm sitting out here speaking to you, but I think I had to kind of run for my life from there. But successfully, I did, and I think uh, that's something which still, when I remember. Um, I still, it sends down shivers down the spine. It's like really, really, because that was a moment when, not moment only, moments, I would say, where I had to go through many things. All of these I can't explain right now, or I can't divulge right now, but definitely you'd get to see when it comes to you before the silver screen. But it's one of the most notable unreported events that has taken place in India in the last 20 years. This much I can assure you.
Wow, this is amazing. Like, I had no idea about this. Literally, no idea. Speechless for a second, but wow. So yeah, definitely I'm gonna go see the movie. Understand, like I spoke to you, I'll be honored to, see that I spoke to this person. Like it's about him. It's amazing. Um, Also, I wanted to understand, like in the entire journey, I feel like you're saying that the film is gonna come out soon. Everyone is gonna know about everything. Who would you like to play? Like who would you like would play you? Like any actor or any person you would personally feel that he is the person who can definitely be me on the screen. You would like to do it
Uh,
yourself.
Well, currently it's in a scripting stage, done by a scriptwriter in Mumbai. But I would just kind of say that, well, as far as if I have to choose, of course, but remember, I was younger at that point of time, 20 years back. So more than 20 years, almost more than 20 years back, I would say. So from that perspective, well, uh, who would I go in for? That's interesting. I wouldn't go in for a, because it's a common man at the end of the day. As a journalist, I had gone, so it's not as an army personnel or air force personnel or anything to do with defense here. It's a pure civilian operation, you can say, as a media, from a media perspective. So uh, it depends. There are many people current, as far as factually it's concerned, there are many people who have been approached, I have been told. But to me, if I ask, then I would say not to that extent, but yeah, Ranbir to an extent may go with that.
He's good.
Uh, to an extent, yeah, because it's not about the face, it's not about anything else, but it's more from a common man's perspective, and I think that's something which is more important.
Yeah. I mean, it's great. Ranbir Kapoor doing a
Or yeah, yeah, it's because that's something which is still not. This is personally, this is just a personal choice, but if at all, go as far as the film goes, that's completely to do with the producers and the directors. That's not my cup of tea. So I don't know who are they going to choose. It's just from a fan perspective, I'm saying.
But it's great that you want him to play. I mean, Ranbir Kapoor is my favorite as well. I love watching his movies and the emotion that like the emotion that comes out whenever he acts, it's like genuine. It's like you are there in the movie. It's not even a movie; it's a place. You're right there. It's an excellent choice, obviously, because it's Ranbir. But nice. Um, so as a professor, how do you like? For example, as a professor, how are you interesting your students with journalism? Uh, that's what I want to know.
Well, I'm into the School of Management. I'm here as a teaching media management in Bennett University, and I belong. I mean, I was a journalist, but from the perspective of the fact of the business side, I would say that it's important to know the media management perspective side. So I think the School of Management, to an extent, I would say, was it's a perfect way ahead as far as students are concerned. They can always media is no longer the way it used to be even 5 years back, 10 years back. Post COVID, it changed completely. So more and more media management students are now approaching, and I would say this I'm really enjoying here, no doubt on that. And sitting in my office today, I can definitely say that you have I've experienced a lot, but it's good to share some of those experiences back to the younger generation, and so that maybe they can know something more about it, and that way they can enrich their experience when they go out into the field, and they can learn quite a few things from there as well.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's kind of inspiring. I mean, I wasn't aware about a lot of stuff. And like speaking to you, I am also understanding like what all is also going on, what happened years ago. And your experiences is kind of good. Uh, okay, other than that, let's go into something more hilarious point of view. What was something that you did that you think was very funny, or something happened when you were on an interview or you were giving a speech that you had to control your laughter? Do you remember of any incident like that?
Well, as far as laughter is concerned, I would play it a little differently. Um, excuse me. I was in a situation where, I won't name the hospital, I won't name the person at all, but it was right at the start of my career way back. And I was covering the health, I mean, the government hospitals and different hospitals across the health side of the reporting I was doing. And there was somebody from one of the hospitals, from a government hospital, of course, in Delhi, who was, one of the uh, officers who were who was holding a senior position. And this person said, "Look, I have a story for you as a journalist." I said, "Okay," and it was strangely I found it was a negative story against the same hospital. I said, "But you were sitting in a place and you were talking wrong about your own." Own organization. This person says, "Well, if things are going wrong, then I will definitely do so." I said, "Oh, that means you're really very honest." He said, "Yeah, I am." And the person gave me all the details to do with what was going wrong, and we published it the next day. And a day after that, I suddenly found that person getting promoted. I thought, "What did I do, man? How come this person got promoted?" Actually, what happened was there was one more person on top of him, and after this report came out, after this news report came out, that person got transferred, and this person took that person's place. I realized it long later because I was a kiddo journalist at that point of time. You can say long. This is I'm talking about approximately 26 years back, 25 years back. So I was a kiddo journalist, and from that perspective, it was like I later realized, oh, this was a kya chal chala hai in a
Yeah,
way. So
actually.
from that so but this was definitely something which is something which I always kind of remember even so many more than 2 decades later. But one thing which of course I forgot to say earlier was if you ask about a cherished moment in my career so far, then I would definitely say that it was when standing in Pakistan occupied Kashmir, when a terrorist told me that, "Look, that side is your Hindustan." I said, "I think Hindustan is also here where I am standing right now." And this guy said, "I later realized, I hope he doesn't shoot me right there and then." But there was not just him, but there were a few more people as well behind him, and they had their faces changed, but thankfully their hands did not go to the guns. So I think later I realized I said, but it was a truthful statement. It was said, of course, because it was our land at the end of the day,
Yeah.
and it is our land, and that from that perspective, um, what I said was not factually wrong and not emotionally wrong. So it's something which I when I later think about it, I think you know I just came out with what the truth is. So from that perspective, Pakistan occupied Kashmir. That's the reason we use the term occupied, because that part is part of India.
Yeah, it is part of India, that's correct. But weren't you scared at that time? Like you said that their faces changed. What if something would have gone wrong? You weren't scared about it? I mean, listening to that, I'm scared.
Well, I later realized what I had said, because I had said on the spur of the moment. At the spur of the moment, it came out from from me, saying that, look, what you are seeing there is something, because it belongs to us as well. Where I'm to us here in as part of India, Pakistan occupied Kashmir. That part of Kashmir is also ours. So from that perspective, I just came out saying that, look, this is my land as well. And later I realized that, look, did I say the right thing at the right time? Because they were all armed, and I'm just with nothing, just standing over there. And if they wanted, they could have just picked up the gun and shot me straight point blank from there. But anyway, that did not happen. But I still feel about it, because I feel what I said, standing in their occupied territory, I said that this is my territory, our territory,
Yeah,
India's territory.
that is amazing. Like, wow. I would have been scared. I wouldn't know what to speak. You're like very brave, honestly. Very brave. It's directly from me. It's very brave. But Uh, okay. So if there was a book you could write about journalism, what will be the chapter, like the first juiciest type chapter title you can give about if you write a book about journalism about you, if you go in that, what will be the title of a chapter which will be the most noticeable, the most thing that will be aware of juiciest type of content type thing? What can be that?
Well, I would say that, look, I've already got a book published, and I'm writing currently the second one.
Oh,
Uh, but I would say I am more interested to write on current affairs, because that's my core area. International relations, media, and communication is my core area. So that and my second book is also on that exactly. It's more to do with international affairs, and so I would say. Uh, you know, I would definitely make it a little more interesting to do with not just a theoretical framework in the entire book, because number one, books don't sell much today because of the net. And number two, if you are if people are reading that book, there has to be something interesting there because of which they're reading it. And I would say narrating incidents, narrating interesting incidents from whatever I have done so far, uh, I think that would be the juiciest part of that, rather than saying this is right or this is wrong, or more to do with the theoretical aspects of it. I would say what I went through practically is something I would like to come forward with.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, correct. You have done so many things. I mean, that's altogether interesting as well. Like, you don't need a chapter title. Okay, so after a long day of working, what is your comfort? What is your comfort food? What is your comfort thing that you do? Like working the entire day. What is something that you want to come home to and like just be done with it? And that's what relaxes you, refreshes you altogether.
Netflix. Well, being I have been a film strategist in the past, to do with a few Hindi films long back, of course. But I'm still a film buff, and I would say that's the best way I can unwind myself after day's work, and it's something which I definitely would love to do. Of course, uh, uh, it depends. And apart from films, I think it's a little bit on music as well. So yeah, bit of both.
Oh, that's great.
That I
This is the same kind of thing I also do when I come back. I'm done with work. I'll go switch on Netflix and just have some food and chill. That's perfect.
Oh, that's great. Great to know.
Yeah. Also, if I understand that you have a busy schedule, the work that you have done in the past, all of your experiences, how do you prioritize your mental health from your busy schedule, the self-care that people look forward to these days? What are your opinions on it? What do you think?
Well, I do pranayam every morning,
Oh,
and that's something which I would say is very important, because if you do that that's my personal view, of course, but if you do that in the morning, then the day not only goes well. I'm not saying well from a different perspective, but well in the sense there are no hiccups. It's much more smooth. So from that perspective, I think meditation and pranayam both together in whichever way you want to do it. I think that's something which with me it goes perfectly fine, and I do a bit of exercises as well, because the remote mountaineer in me is still alive, and I'm going to see Mount Everest, not the tip possibly, but some part of the Everest somewhere soon.
that's huge. I mean, I love trekking, but that is way too tough for me as well. Uh, okay, so what are your opinions on like the students, like the younger generation of today's, which are going through mental health problems? How do you address, for example, if a student comes to you and shares their problem with you, what is something that you would do or what you'll guide them?
Well, the question that you posed is very important, because not just from a student perspective, but even the younger generation perspective, if I may say, there are a lot of instances where they're not sure what to do, not from a career perspective only, but from different other perspectives. Sometimes maybe from a career perspective, from a personal perspective, but I think drawing a boundary line is very important, number one. And number two, you need to be with that person mentally first, because the problem is that if I say, look, do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that, that's a very theoretical aspect of a typical person saying, don't cross the Lakshman Rekha or something like that. But it's very important that you need to you need to understand that person first very well. Why is he saying that? Whatever he's saying is a different thing that comes next, but I have to understand that why, how, and then come to the what. And I think that's how I'm going to solve this issue. And I think the younger generation is facing it a lot. When we were young, for example, though not very long back, I would say, but when we were young, I would still say that we used to coolly take things as they are, as they used to come. That's fine. But nowadays, things are much more complex because of several factors. But I think good mental well-being is something which should be the priority for every individual in life, especially the younger generation.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, okay, so I think that's almost we covered everything. So maybe we'll just start with the last question, which is every profession, every career has some of the negative comments. So when you get them, how do you deal with it, or how do you suggest that a person should deal with it?
Well, I would say when something negative comes to you from a comment perspective, or whoever is saying that, look, you have not done this well or that not that well, that's another thing. But I would take it in a very positive spirit, because see, the person is concerned, and that's the reason the person is saying whatever the person is saying. That, look, this has not gone well for you, or you have not done this well. So I would take it more from that perspective. That, look, the person feels, and that's the reason the person has gone ahead and told me. And I would, in that case, take it more from a positive set of mind, so as to not just rectify if I have done any mistake, but also work upon it and make sure that it does not happen again. I think that's the way it should go ahead, because it should not be like, oh, this person has said something wrong, bad about me, and I should be against this person. No, I would always take that with a positive bent of mind, and so that I can work on it. And if at all that's true, then I should be working on it very well, and I can rectify the mistake if any, and then it there's no more negativity about it. So negativity is only there when you spread negativity, but positivity is always there. It all depends what you choose, and the choosing part goes to whoever wants to choose what. That's all.
Yeah, that is true. Absolutely. So let's just ask last one question. Sorry. I just, it's really good to know you, you know. So there is like a lot of things which we have heard, like there are favoritism, which in my school also my professors used to do. Definitely I wasn't the favorite one, but yeah, there was. So do you think that it is something that can impact on a person's behavior or something like a lot of students can, you know, a lot of students pick on the person who's favorite of the teacher or the professor. So what do you think? Is it something
Sorry,
good?
I want to hear this a little more again.
Oh,
Can you just
okay.
I couldn't hear properly. Sorry.
So
Mhm.
there are like favoritism in students, right? So I just want to know what is your opinion on it? That is there something that is actually there that the professor is like, you know, more uh, on the side of one student, but not everyone. Do you think that it happens with you, or have you ever experienced something like that that way?
No, I don't. I have never experienced it, and I don't want to. And I won't show that to my students at all, because at the end of the day, I would regard, if there is a class setting of 50 students, I would always regard them all. It's, yeah, some may be good, some may not be that good, but more than people who are good, I should work upon or work with those who are those who need to make themselves better in their studies. So from that perspective, I would say that if you show favoritism, or just because the person is good in his or her work, uh, you are doing favoritism in a very bad way. Number one. Number two, that's not a very honest way of dealing with a class, because you're not just dealing with one student, you're dealing with so many students together. So you should be in a position where you are not aligned towards anybody, and you should take the entire class as your community. And so each one of them belongs to the subject that you are teaching. And that way, I think, that the best thing is that the more you do not show favoritism, the better the output will be. Because the moment you show any favoritism, there will be a strict divide between two sets within the class, and that is something which will break it.
Okay.
So it's you have to make them understand a lot about team spirit, because what is lacking nowadays, I'm not talking about just the younger generation overall. What's lacking uh, is the team spirit. It's always an individualistic impression coming first, and team spirit later. But I would suggest, if you work as a team, maybe two people, three people, 10 people, 100 people, does not matter. But if you work as a team, the team output would have 10 times better results than an individual output. Everybody is not an Einstein. So, from that perspective, I would say that I always believed in teamwork. I still believe in teamwork, and I will keep believing in teamwork.
That's a response I expected from you. Like, it's amazing. Perfect. Uh, so I would not take any more of your time. Thank you so much for joining here. And it's a very great honor, personally, from my own self, to know you, to get to talk to you, and I'll be waiting for the movie to come out and see who is playing it. And if it's Ranbir Kapoor, I'll be very happy. But let's hope for the best. Let's hope that the whole world sees you for what you have done, your all your accomplishment, nothing to hide, everything that you have done for the country, for the people. Everyone should know that. Mm.
Thank you so much, because because this is something which hardly a handful of people know about. Very few, and this is something in which has happened more than 20 years back, and it's important that it comes out for the country.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's good to know. I mean, if you're done good, it's no no problem.
It's
But
not about me doing good only. It's not about me there as a person, but I would say circumstances, and also the situation and circumstances, and it's more to know about the incident than me. I am nobody here. It's the incident which needs to come out before the public.
yeah, well, that's correct. Thank you so much for your time. I'll stay in touch
Thank you
with you
so
definitely. Uh,
much.
have a good day, or not your holiday, but have
No,
fun doing.
no, but it's my choice, because I have work and I have chosen to work today.
Yeah,
So let me do some work today, and that's how I chose. I think it's better to work than to just stay back and I of course watch movies, but they're kept more for the later part of the day.
Yeah. Okay. Have fun.
Thank you.
Have a good
Thank you
day.
very much for calling me to your show. Thanks a ton. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being on board. We'll definitely stay in touch with you, and thank you for so much of input. It was really great knowing you about the work and everything. So yeah, it's perfect. Thank you so much. So this is your host Bhakti here from Stars and Celebs Bato Bato Mein. I'm here to announce a contest with Mr. Ayanjit for his students and his friends. The contest details will be shared by Mr. Ayanjit himself, but I'm here to tell you the rewards that you will receive if you win the contest. So, the contest will have five winners. The five lucky winners will get free products worth 1500, and not just that, but also free registration on Stars and Celebs platform. It's not just any platform, it's a platform which will give you an opportunity to earn thousands of rupees. So, what are you waiting for? Follow Stars and Celebs and stay tuned. Bye bye.